Good morning and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Thursday, the 27th of January. I can't believe how quickly this year is flying by already. Today is the day I'm going to get boosted. This morning I have a Zoom clericus meeting for Battle River Clericus, and then after that I'm going to head up to Vermilion to the Shoppers Drug Mart and get my booster shot. I'm going to get boosted. I keep thinking about this because I hate getting needles. Who likes getting needles? I mean, everybody hates it, right? And I'm a little bit nervous because both my first and second doses of the vaccine, I got pretty sick. So I made my appointment for today so that tomorrow, my day off, I can be sick in case I have to be. Hopefully I'll be fine, but I'm just playing it safe. But I kept thinking about the things that we do because it's good for us that we don't like. It's like telling children to eat their broccoli or their Brussels sprouts because it's good for them. Or, wearing your seatbelt because it's healthy. It's the smart thing to do. Even though it's uncomfortable, and you ever had that, Christmas meal and you're feeling stuffed and your pants are just too tight and you're bloated and you get in the car and you put on the seatbelt. It's like, really? Do I have to wear the seatbelt? And yet we do. And after a couple of seconds, we don't give it any more thought. There are so many things in our lives that we do because they're good for us. And getting boosted is one of them. They're talking now about a fourth booster for some folks. And, I would love to think that one day we would get past this pandemic, that there would be a point where we weren't looking at having to get boosters. But the fact is, for those of us who work in healthcare or work with older people like I do, getting a flu shot every year, we don't even think about it. Of course, you have to. If you're going to go into the hospitals and nursing homes, going to deal with the elderly, you get your flu shot. And you don't think twice about it. So if we have to get a booster shot every year for the coronavirus to help us stay safe and to keep other people healthy, what's the big deal? So you have a day where you're not feeling well, your arm is sore, things like that. But the fact is that we do that to keep that little bit of pain is worth the long-term gain. We keep ourselves healthy, we keep our families healthy, we keep others healthy. The more people are healthy, the less people get sick. The less people get sick, the less people get sick. It's a great ripple effect, isn't it? So I'm struggling with all these folks who are so up in arms that the government is saying you need to have your vaccinations. The convoy heading for Ottawa. Millions of dollars raised from around the world to support people who are driving big trucks, spitting out smoke, exhaust into the air in a country that has seen so much damage thanks to climate change in this past year. And they're all heading to Ottawa to converge there to protest being told they need to get a vaccination. I don't get it. I'm not trying to be dense, and I'm not saying that they're people that they are, but I'm not understanding the logic. The science is holding up. People are not dying from getting the vaccination. There's always a percentage of people who have reactions to things. Like I said, I get sick, the body aches and feeling the shivers and the hot and cold and all that stuff. It lasts 24, 48 hours. But so would the flu. COVID, especially the long haul COVID, the long COVID they're talking about, that can last for a really, really long time. It can last the rest of your life. People are having scarring on their lungs. The last time I thought about lung issues like that was when I was dealing with a parishioner who had COPD. I hate to see that. Like my father-in-law at the end of his life had to have an oxygen tank with him all the time. And that limited his ability to get around and do things. It took somebody who loved to live life and made him rework every single thing he did. He had to think about, what do I do now? How do I do this? I know I can do it, but I've got to figure out the logistics on how to do it. Do I have enough oxygen? Is my cord long enough? All things like that. Which makes me think, why would we intentionally head in a direction that could happen to us? I am really worried about this fringe. They talk about the Maverick Party in Alberta and this fringe and of this people on the edges who are they're so scared that people are going to take away their freedoms, that people are going to steal from them, or I'm not sure what it is they think they're going to take. That they are acting, in my mind, it seems unreasonably. And I don't mean that to be they're crazy. I mean, there's reason. Reason says you look both ways before you cross the street. Reason says if the stoplight is red, you don't go. Unreasonable would be just running out like a kid with a ball, running to get the ball into a busy street, running a red light because you don't want to wait. That would be unreasonable. And it seems to me right now that the reasonable thing to do is to get boosted, to get your vaccinations, get your booster shot, and to be healthy. And if not for your own health, what about the health of others? How many of us have elderly parents or children in our lives who maybe are immunocompromised? The number of people I know, probably because of the work that I do and the fact that people tell me about their lives and about the people in their lives, I know a large number of people, and I know of a large number of people who have things like cancer. And they're, first of all, if they were to get COVID, that would compromise their systems. I don't know whether COVID would speed up the cancer or things like that. But the fact that they have COVID could stop them from being able to take treatments. If their body couldn't handle, it could barely handle chemotherapy before when they were healthy otherwise, what would happen if they got COVID? They wouldn't be able to take their chemo. You don't get your chemo or your radiation, the disease gets worse. The COVID is also stopping people from being able to get treatments. Our healthcare system has been in much need of more beds and more people and more doctors and technicians and nurses and everything for a long time. We know that. So there are people who don't have COVID, but have other conditions, some of them life-threatening and others that aren't, but they're life-impairing, that have been stopped from being able to live their lives because other people are choosing not to get vaccinated and are ending up in the hospitals, in hospital beds with COVID. Now, I recognize that's not everybody. A lot of people in the hospital with COVID have had their shots. And I'm glad that they did, and I'm glad that they have hospital beds for them. But if you don't need to be in the hospital, why would you go? I mean, if I don't need to go to the hospital, I don't. Straight up, I won't. But think about it. I know people who are waiting knee surgeries, hip surgeries, shoulder surgeries, all parts of your body that make just simply moving from your bed to the bathroom, to the kitchen, to the couch, let alone going for a walk or skating or skiing or playing with grandchildren. It makes it so incredibly painful. And I'm seeing people who already had to wait months and months on waiting lists to get their spot open, to get these surgeries. And now we're talking about years. People who have been in pain for a long, long time, who finally get to go to the doctor and say, okay, enough. The doctor says, yep, you need to get your hip replaced or your knee replaced, and it's going to be 2 or 3 years. Their quality of life has already gone down in the fact that they need a new hip. And now you're telling them that quality of life is going to continue to decrease because they can't get that surgery fast enough. And in a big part because our system has been overrun with COVID. Something that we're at the point now that quite a bit of it could be preventable by choosing to stay home if you're not well, by choosing to abide by the rules. When the doctors and provinces say, only people who are in a bubble, in a household unit, can go to a restaurant and eat together, then do that. I understand, but why is it so hard to follow the rules? Because we're so scared of losing our freedom? This isn't communism. This isn't socialism. It's working for the common good. No one is taking your cash. No one is taking your property. No one is intentionally out there taking your job. What they are trying to do is make sure that nothing takes your life. So please think about it. And if you haven't had your booster yet, please do so, because I need to know that you're safe. I want to know that I won't be praying for you because you're ill. I just want to pray for you because you need prayers, or you've got something to give thanks for. But I really want you to be safe and healthy. So if you haven't already gotten your booster shot, make your appointment, go to the drugstore, drop in, find out what it takes, and get that shot. And then you can be sore in the arm with me on Friday too. But either way, I would rather be sore and have you sore in the arm than see you flat in your back or flat in your stomach, as the COVID patients are, trying to breathe. Have a good day. Be safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Do all the right things. And I'll see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachael for Friday. God bless you.